Nazis. They know. It's all a fake act. They're eugenicists. Let's go ahead and talk to Chris in Florida. Chris, you're on the air with Webster Tarpley. We're going to try to hurry up to these calls now. Go ahead.
Dr. Tarpley, love your show on Saturdays. And Alex, have you had or plan to have, it doesn't seem like you have on PrisonPlanet.tv, are you thinking about having Dr. Andrew Molden on?
Andrew Molden, who's that?
Regarding the vaccination issue, he's MD, PhD, was on Coast to Coast in my show last week. Says that all the vaccinations, according to his...
Okay, I'll look into it. Thank you for the call, Chris. Let's go ahead and talk to Justin in North Carolina. Justin, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, I was wanting to know, have you seen the previews for the HBO documentary, We the People, about the Obama campaign?
No, tell me about it.
Oh, I don't know much about it, brother. I just saw a commercial while I was watching HBO the other day. They're getting ready to release it here in the next couple of weeks. It's just about them falling around during his campaign. It's just a promo for New World Order scumbag.
Well, I know that Nancy Pelosi's daughter makes pro-Bush films and pro-Obama films, and I think I read she's the one pimping that. But look, all the king's horses and all the king's men can't put this together again. The people fundamentally don't buy either party anymore. Congress's approval rating is at all-time lows. Webster, isn't that the key here, that people finally get it, that Washington's run by a bunch of crooks?
Right, and then you've got to take the next step, which is decide what you're for and how you're going to run the government when you take it over.
All right, we're going to take more calls when we get back. From Joe, Steve, Kurt, Thomas, and many others. Webster Tarpley's our guest. Stay with us. Bunch of video clips coming up as well, and we're going to get into eugenics.
With food prices soaring to all-time highs, as the dollar continues to fall in value, what can you and your family do to guarantee that fresh, nutritious vegetables will make it to your dinner table? Garden in a Can. Garden in a Can is your source for premium, long-term storable seeds. Garden in a Can is ready when you are. Plant them now or store them for when you really need them. There are 16 large, hermetically sealed, non-hybrid, open-pollinated packets of seeds, along with detailed planting instructions sealed in a can for ultimate long-term protection. Garden in a Can. It's that simple, fresh, healthy, easy. Only $69.95 for over a half acre of safe, fresh vegetables, ready when you are. Stop procrastinating and start preparing with Garden in a Can. For more details, visit gardeninacan.com today. That's gardeninacan.com or call 866-598-7396. 866-598-7396.
In the New World Order's war against humanity, Barack Obama is the tip of the spear.
We've got to have a civilian national security force that's just as powerful, just as strong, just as well-funded.
The Obama deception completely destroys the myth that Obama is working for the best interest of the American people.
Well, Obama's already fudging. He's fudged since day one in this election.
If you have a demagogue with a fanatical mass movement of personality cultists who is imposing the program of a group of extreme bankers and finance oligarchs, that's fascism.
It's not about left or right. It's about a one-world government. This film documents who Obama works for, the lies he has told, and his real agenda. Get your copy of The Obama Deception today at Infowars.com or download it in super high quality at PrisonPlanet.tv. The Obama Deception. The people strike back.
Thomas Jefferson once said, "When the people fear their government, there is tyranny. When the government fears the people, there is liberty." Our God-given right to life and liberty and the right to determine what is best for our lives and our family's health are in jeopardy. If we the people do not diligently assert these rights, they may be taken away and lost forever. Utopia Silver is known for fighting for health freedom, and we will not meekly allow ourselves to be led as lambs to the slaughter. Sitting passively by and accepting the chains of slavery that are being placed on America is not an option. Please stand with Utopia Silver in this fight. Utopia Silver carries some of the most effective colloidal silver products on the market and numerous other high-quality health supplements. Visit us today at utopiasilver.com. That's UTOPIA, utopiasilver.com. Or call us today at 1-888-213-4338. 1-888-213-4338.
The chief of police says that it is legal for him to have the gun as long as it is not concealed. It's a registered weapon, and what's more, the man is on private property, a church ground there at the end of the roadway, and the church has apparently given him permission to be there. The police are obviously keeping a close eye on this man, and they're not going to let him get anywhere near the president, and I suspect that he won't be here by the time the president gets here in just a couple of hours' time. But again, for the most part, things are very peaceful. The police are keeping an eye on things.
Hang on a second.
The crowds are separated.
But to be really clear, we're seeing the pictures right now. You're saying a guy has a gun in the open where we already know there are concerns about every president's safety, but certainly this historic president, the 44th president of the United States, and there's no, the guy's just being allowed to stay there? Is that right?
I've never been with anything.
You know, you notice that in Iraq, Saddam could walk around with 10,000 people with machine guns and he was fine. And even until the 30s, Americans would take guns on their sides to court hearings in major cities. Famous Lindbergh case, he wore a sidearm into that. This is how they operate. Oh, my God, the slaves have guns. But this guy has got an IFB that only television people, it's the professional flesh-colored clear one, flesh-colored down here, clear up here, that is hooked in for law enforcement. He looks like Secret Service. He looks like Secret Service I saw at the Bilderberg Group in Virginia. Or he could be some private merc, or he could be a listener. Who knows? But he's got, it's time to water the tree of liberty. And, you know, we sell T-shirts and hats that say, don't tread on me, with the Gadsden flag. And then it has the Thomas Jefferson quote on the back saying, the blood of patriots and tyrants must water the tree of liberty from time to time. Just amazing that this is going on. And we need to track down listeners. Who is that guy? Do you recognize him? Is he federal marshal? Because they're now saying ban protest because the citizens are evil. Number one threat's gun owners. Number one threat's the veterans. Just amazing. We've got more video clips coming up next hour as they say any criticism of Obama is racist. And that if we were all given sodium pentothal or truth serum, we would admit we were racist. It's not that we don't want to turn our guns in. It's not that we're against the government health care. It's not that we're against cap and trade. It's that we are racist. And it's not going to work. Let's talk to, I'm not talking to Steve in Chicago. He calls every day. Every day. So, Steve, you have a nice day. I told you can call once a week. Kurt in Texas. Kurt, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Is there a provision in the health care bill that you know of for genocide?
Yes, it has provisions about rationing care, limiting test, and hospice. And let me scan over this. I've actually got the bill, or I've got the sections boiled down. That's 200 pages long. The actual bill's thousands and thousands and constantly changing. But, yes, it does have take Obama's brother. Let's put Salon. Salon's not some right-wing publication. You know, with the headline, Obama's brother, Dr. Death. There it is. I mean, this is the guy who your former writing partner has actually confronted, and that got millions of views online, or hundreds of thousands I saw in one video alone. Tell us about Ezekiel Emanuel, Obama's Dr. Death. And that's not me saying that. That's Salon, Webster Tarpley.
Well, what I know about Ezekiel Emanuel is that he's a professor of bioethics. Now, bioethics is a very, very suspect academic specialty, because essentially what it has to do with is making decisions about the end of life.
It's a eugenics board.
It's going to be in favor of the insurance companies. I regard it also as economic austerity. In other words, they want you to die early for the bottom line. They say, why are we spending so much money at the end of life when if people simply accepted the idea of death, we could save all this money so we could speculate in more derivatives. So there's a eugenics motivation and there's an economic austerity. He's also said people with Alzheimer's and dementia should get no medical care whatsoever.
And he says that in speeches. And on top of that, and that's genocide right there, having the health care gives people jobs in the economy. It's this idea that having nice things hurts everybody, and that the pie's only one size. It's a classic oligarchical view.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Be sure to visit GCNlive.com today.
This is Alex Jones. Have you heard of the Millionaire Patriot? Well, you should. He has a free handgun and 5 days of firearms training waiting for you. That's right. You can attend 5 days of world-class gun training at Front Sight Firearms Training Institute and secure a 30-state concealed weapons permit, all for pennies on the dollar. Plus, if you act fast, the Millionaire Patriot will give you a free Springfield Armory XD pistol in the caliber of your choice. I believe now is the time that you and your